a little update after 24 hours. I brewed this beer. What did we got here? Let the focus. Rye Stout, January 16th, 2016. I brewed it on the 16th, but I didn't pitch the yeast in until the next day, the 17th, and today's the 19th. On the 18th, I really only saw just a little bit. There's a little bit of foam, a little ridge, like as thick as a dime. And so this is all just from basically last night. And it's working like a charm. The duct tape seal, which I had my doubts about, seems to be a pretty good idea. I also went with a really thick hose, try to get as much foam away from there as possible. And this is working out. The theory is that the foam, it'll the bubbles come up, and they kind of collect here. They make their way down into that. There's a pitcher there with sanitizer in it, and that keeps the bad air from going back down in there. And then the bubbles come up, and they slide down the sides of the pitcher, and they hit the sanitizer that's in the bottom of this plastic bucket. And that kind of like pops the foam, pops the bubbles. So it just is a liquid. And that makes it a lot easier to clean up. And I'm hoping for no mess at all. That's the plan. I use a starter now. When I brew the beer, I don't pitch the yeast the same night. I take some of the cooled, I think they call it wort or whatever, unfermented beer. And I take some of that and I put it in this plastic or glass thing. It's this thing here. I'll show you. 1 second. It's a thing like this. Very scientific looking. You swirl it around in there. And you let it sit for 24 hours and you grow all this yeast. That's because you put the yeast in there with the unfermented wine or beer. Of course, it could be wine. How are these guys doing? He's still bubbling. Well, anyway, things seem to be right on track. No problems yet.